Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the turntable with Ari Styles, D Money, and Shiki on Active FM, where radio has never been better.
Like Shiki said, this is the turntable where we keep you turned and get you learned.
And I'm D Money, and we'll be bringing you the facts and playing you the tracks. We've got another jam-packed show for you today, so hope you're ready for this. For the battle of the queens.
The battle of the babes, yeah.
The babes. Okay, so
The
before
promiscuous ladies.
if you didn't know what we're talking about Lil Kim versus Foxy Brown, and then Lil Kim versus
Nicki.
Nicki Minaj. Yeah.
So before we get
And
into
Foxy
that,
Brown's in the middle, in between.
Yes.
Okay, but
It was a sandwich.
right, so we're gonna start it off with the little bit of a history of Kim and Foxy Brown. So they both lived in Brooklyn, New York. They came up. They actually went to the same school. I don't know what is
They
it
were
about.
friends, actually.
Yeah, I don't know what is it about that Brooklyn school that
Yeah.
that had some of the greatest rappers of our time.
Because Jay-Z, Biggie, and Busta Rhymes went to the same
DMX
school.
was there as well.
DMX was in that school. I don't know why people say that. But
He
yeah,
wasn't.
I've seen it around.
Yeah.
DMX was in that school.
So it's kind of like our school.
Yeah.
It's easy like me.
Yeah, everyone thought you were in school with me, but you weren't. That's true. They even used to wonder why he's not in a matric board. He doesn't go to school.
Yeah, so they both started off, and then so Biggie, he was the one who helped Kim to go under his wing, got her into the game. Then it was Jay-Z who also brought Foxy into the game. And
He
then
assisted.
he
Yeah,
assisted.
she
He assisted. Foxy Brown was part of the farm as well.
That came later.
That came later, yeah. So and then
After she was established already, but coming in, obviously Kim came in with Big,
Yeah.
and she came in with Jay was Ain't No, like the
Yeah.
one I got. I think it's that record, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
And it was his first big record. She was on there, so their careers were somewhat parallel in that regard. Except Biggie was way bigger at the time, so Kim had a better look.
She ran with Junior Mafia, Biggie's crew. Yeah, and like she was saying, they were actually friends. They even shared the cover of the Source magazine. That was in
Yeah.
'97.
Yeah, and in 95, they worked together on Total's "No One Else" remix. So it was Foxy Brown, Lil Kim on the remix. The No One Else, the Foxy Brown, Lil Kim, and also the Brett
Oh, okay.
on that No One Else record track. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think I saw an interview with Lil C's recently. He was saying that they were actually in a good relationship,
Yeah.
and they don't know where it went wrong.
Yeah. So what also happened is like, Foxy Brown did mention to say that she what's it called, Lil Kim inspired her because of inspired her to, not to say copy her style, but just to inspire her as in what Lil Kim done. She have the freedom,
emulated it. Yeah.
They both kind of had it was a mix between like sex appeal and that
yeah.
tough
The gangster
Brooklyn
rap,
edge. Yeah. So that's what they both.
There were a lot of similarities.
So yeah, a lot of similarities. Then in 96, Lil Kim's debut album was released on in November, and a week later,
Fox's
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 album,
album.
right? So when Lil Kim's album got dropped, right? When it debut album dropped, for that week she was the highest female rapper.
Until
Then until Foxy Brown came, then the following weekend, then her album came out. Yeah. So Lil Kim's album was called Hardcore, and Foxy Brown's was Il Nana. I think we mentioned it last week.
I think we've alluded to Kim and Nicki a few times on the show about Nicki's coming from her, and we've alluded to this. We've mentioned it a
Yeah.
few times. Now it's just a deeper dive into it, being that it's Women's Month,
Yeah, with Foxy Brown.
And then also as well, there was even so they styled and they were both together. So before like any beef or anything started, the Def Jam CEO, what is it, Lyra Cohen, offered them
Leo Cohen.
Leo Cohen, he offered them $500,000 each to do a joint album, which would be actually titled Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen because I think like clashing of egos and styles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you were saying earlier about she came, Foxy came through Jay, she came through Biggie, They both knew each other. Their styles were so similar. They both came out at the same time, so it was obvious for them to be in competition. Their careers paralleled each other somewhat. Although Kim, I think, blew up a little more afterwards, but at that point in time, they were so similar. It paralleled each other, so it made sense. Like we say almost every week, competitive nature of the art form kind of forced them to be head to head. And that time it was worse with women. They would always put women against each other, especially being so similar.
And also, I'm talking about now their first debut albums, right? If you look at it, the album covers, right? There's inside it the album cover, the booklet. So in the middle, if you see Lil Kim's booklet, the picture of I think it was a jumpsuit. I can't remember what.
Yeah, it was the
dress.
jumpsuit.
They had the exact same jumpsuit. And a story is that it was the exact same jumpsuit. Lil Kim made it and she gave it to
Foxy to use.
to Foxy to use. And then after that, people started comparing, and that's where the beef supposedly started, because of that.
And it was like the first dust was Subliminal by Lil Kim.
Yeah.
Because that was where it starts, like on the Junior Mafia song with like rapper Little C's, in the one of 99 Play Around.
Yeah.
Which featured Daddy and Kim, and in the song Daddy raps to it says like stop trying to be like which many thought was a direct hit at Foxy.
Yeah.
And then Kim, I think, went more direct on Quiet Storm.
Yeah, that's when she takes the war of words up a big notch.
Yeah, because that's why, because I think Fox it made so much sense where she responded, right? Because of the comparisons of Mobb Deep and CNN being so similar, being from the same place. And she had a song Quiet Storm where Kim was getting it, and for the Puffy line on CNN song Bang Bang, that's where Foxy responded, and she does Kim and Puff on that track.
Yeah.
The Capone and Noriega's Bang Bang, yeah.
So as you're saying, in 2000.
Very aggressive song, I love it.
So in 2000, when you're saying Lil Kim does that directly.
On Quiet Storm.
On Quiet Storm, and on album Kim's album in 2000, Notorious KIM. She directly references Foxy Brown and a crew, which, as I said earlier, the firm, right? Where she says you and your firm, right? So I'm gonna give you a little bit of the lyrics, right?
Go ahead.
The chick running around with this stink cap and them fake raps having panic attacks. You ain't a star and your record company know that. How you make all this money and get this far and blow it. I'm a businesswoman now, so I'm not concerned. I bet on Lil C's before you and your firm. That was back in the days. I would have been snatched. I'm getting money now. Them bees in the hood, they can have you. So that was a direct shot at Foxy Brown.
Based on the firm. The firm was Nas, Foxy, Comega, AZ, and then they kicked Comega left the group, and then Nature went in there.
Yeah.
Then Foxy returned. So that was Kim's
one, yeah.
Kim's does.
Now the famous Dr. Dre line, what is it? And now they say the firm flopped. On what song was it?
Forget about Dre.
Still Dre or Forget About Dre. He says, and they say the firm flopped. Blah, blah, blah. That's who he's talking about, that group, because the firm was signed to Dr. Dre.
Yeah, they wanted to create the album for Dr. Dre.
They did. They put out the album. That's why the line comes, the firm flop. But it still was a platinum selling album.
Yeah.
But by Dre standards at that point, what they were expecting from Aftermath was supposed to be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. And then this is when Bang 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 was released. So that's when Foxy went hardcore, like for...
Yeah, according to Nori, she had a few worse verses than that. They asked her to kind of...
Yeah, to cut it down.
To cut it down and make it not so direct, because they had decent relationships with Puff and with Kim and everyone.
Yeah, so it was quite a...
So
they asked her to go a little bit lighter. They said she went a lot harder before that.
So on that track, she actually started a verse as the same intro but what Kim used on Mobb Deep's Quiet Storm. The exact same intro, the way Kim comes in, she does the same intro. But the most troubling part is when she was basically mocking Kim's mourning of Biggie's passing, right? By saying let the ninjas rest in peace and hope this and hope of his. you know? Yeah.
People, I think, get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Styles.
Yeah. So then what happened is, yeah. So then
from there, then it
She wasn't
like it
mocking the
moved.
morning. She was basically saying, like, people is using his name to cling to fame and to cling to relevance and to say, she's the female Notorious and
Yeah.
that type of thing. The Notorious KIM came out in it. So they were saying basically stop using him and his passing as an opportunity to create
elevate
relevance and elevate yourself.
And then it moved on. So in February 2001, that's when things got a little
Violent.
heated. Yes, that's when they drew blood. So it was Kim and the entourage, like Junior Mafia, ran into Capone and his crew at New York's Hot 97 station. And then like arguments happened and shots were fired. Like one person I think was injured, and
And Kim went to jail because of
yeah.
that.
yeah.
I think I'm not sure if it was Cat Williams or Chris Rock. It says Lil Kim went to jail for not snitching because she lied to the feds. So that's why she actually went to jail.
Yeah,
She served a year.
It was something to do with that regard with her
Yeah.
saying she didn't know the people that were there, which was crazy because
And she wasn't there.
Capone and Noriega had nothing to do with it. B.
Yeah.
Foxy was just on the song with him, Dustin Puff and Kim.
Yeah.
And then they ran into each other, ran into Junior Mafia at the radio station. They got into shootout. In all fairness,
But no, but not without taking any sides because they didn't really do any. This is on the track. It was just basically. It was just basically.
that's just their track.
yeah,
She
it
was just
basically-
dissing people on.
Yeah, she
and
was
it
just
made
dissing.
sense if you think about She Dust on Quiet Storm with Mobb Deep. So
Yeah,
it made sense her
for
doing
her
it
to
on
do-
CNN.
Yeah.
They were really similar, even in the dust.
Yeah, because Dusting on Quiet Storm and Dusting on Big Bang, Capone and Noriega compared a lot with
Mobb Deep.
with Mobb Deep, so it was a
She
brilliant
took
move.
advantage of that situation and
it was a
put them in
brilliant
that
move.
situation.
Yeah, and then into okay.
So it moved on like a week after the shooting and stuff. Foxy actually extended the olive branch, saying let's be friends. She actually said I really don't know how it started. She said on the beef, I want to call a truce. I want to have a sit down with Kim. I don't care what it is. Let's just end it. We can even do a collaboration. We're bigger than this.
Now, once people start getting shot and going to jail, it
But then it died down for a while. Like years, Kim went to prison.
Yeah,
came out and stuff.
she served actually that about what you said about making amends happened in 2001. Kim only served time in 2005.
yeah, because the trial
The
went
trial,
on
yeah.
and things, and that's why they blamed Lil C's for being a snitch because he took the stand, but not the case.
Yeah.
And then, and after Foxy did that, years later, she actually reignited the beef again. So, Lil Kim was on Dancing with the Stars, and then she released like a track of the muscle. So it actually says, "Catch me at the mall, catch me at Macy's at the mall, but will never see me dancing with the stars. Never will I embarrass my borough. I'm too thorough." So Foxy hits back.
But if for anyone that's fans of Foxy and heard her music, she is like that. Like she's really aggressive on her record. She rapped with the firm with like Omega and things like that. These guys were some of the hardest like rappers they were, and she held her own on that record. So that was her style. She was an aggressive rapper. She took a shot. I think the other day was speaking about it from LL on I Shot You. Like so she was in the mix of that more than maybe Kim. Because Kim back then, a lot of people said that Big used to write the rhymes, and then after that other people used to do it for her. But I don't think it was known at that point that Fox also had a lot of help, because she was corrupt at one point. And then in being corrupt, people thought that he was giving her some help because corrupt super lyricist. And then she obviously caused the beef between Corrupt and DMX, because they were supposed to have a song together, the dog and the fox, and she went to go do it with DMX, and there was concerns about a relationship. But at that point in time, Foxy was like it. She was an aggressive MC. So she will
also
just
had
take a
her
shot.
own controversies and
A lot, yeah. And I think why people haven't heard from her in a long time is, we've heard from Kim over the years now and then with a song with 50, and then before that she had that Light Us Up record and things. You haven't heard from Fox in such a long time, I think, because she has a hearing problem.
Yeah.
You're not able to record if you can't really hear the beat and hear yourself and count beats. I'm not sure, I'm assuming.
Yeah, she does have a hearing problem because I think there was this where Kim mentions something, you know what, you need to hear something trust the singer.
Yeah, so that's why I think you haven't heard from her in a long time.
Yeah, and as we're gonna as we go in like in later on, in say basically 2012, Foxy Brown was scheduled to do a show with on the Hot 97 Summer Jam with Nicki Minaj, right? And Roma had it, right, where Foxy Brown had reportedly had a planned Lil Kim funeral service with a lookalike doll of Lil Kim, but then because um, m- Nicki Minaj pulling out of the Summer Jam, um,
It didn't happen.
it didn't happen. But that was a rumor. So that's basically the beef with Foxy Brown. They tried to in 2013. They tried to make amends. They tried to have a show together, which never really panned out.
I think this is another situations that won't die. But the crazy part is CNN and their camp and Junior Mafia is back cool and they were shooting at each other and people went to jail over it, but the two of them is still not okay with it.
At least Kim did not snitch. She didn't snitch.
It ain't 6ix9ine. Takashi
Oh,
6ix9ine.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on to the next beef with Lil Kim.
Yeah. So as I mentioned about the Foxy Brown, what's it called, incident with the funeral service with the Lil Kim and Foxy Brown beef. We're gonna come into it a little bit later because we're gonna start with the origins of the Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj beef, how it supposedly started, right? It started basically on the promo pictures of Nicki Minaj that she released in 2007 on a Playtime Is Over mixtape, right? Which is a clear resemblance of Lil Kim's 96 album cover. Hardcore. Remember I mentioned the hardcore, right?
And Kim took offense saying
And
she's
she-
stealing her style.
Yeah.
But you can say she was paying homage
Yeah.
because she's a female MC, she's in a similar realm. Kim is a legend at that point in time. You can say she was just paying homage. So she didn't have to necessarily take offense at that point.
Did Nicki even respond to that? Or
So alleged. So the first time they basically met, they both basically tell the story differently, right? So Nicki Minaj says that she.
That's how everyone tells
Yeah.
stories, how you tell a story.
No.
Everybody tell a story.
No,
like
but it's-
if you ask
yeah,
me what happened, you
but-
ask someone else what happened,
No, I'm just
and you
saying-
ask a third person what
Yeah.
happened, everyone's gonna give a
Say-
different
give a
story.
different story, yeah.
Sometimes you ask me about the same story twice, I'll give you two different accounts.
Yeah.
That's the best way to tell
it depends who
stories.
you get.
Yeah.
Depends who
It's
you
the
get.
best way to tell stories. You just add your own stuff in.
Yeah. You're spicy. Yeah.
Yes.
A little bit of spice, a little
That's
bit
why
of
when you cook
masala,
differently
little bit
also.
of-
You put different
shall
spices.
Okay. Now, what type of spices will you put in?
Yes.
Yeah, you put in.
His own spice.
Yeah.
Old
Hot
spice.
spice. Old spice.
Old spice.
Not young spice.
Nah.
Okay, anyway, yeah, so they basically met each other at the backstage at a Little Wayne concert. Nicki Minaj says that she asked him if everything was cool with him, right? But then Kim said, "We good," and then I'll ring her throat, snatch her larynx out. I don't know, something of that sort. And then
So who told you the story?
Someone messed up the story where they told
They
me.
used a little bit spice,
Yeah.
a little too much.
little bit too much, yeah. But then both Nicki Minaj they claimed that when Lil Kim claimed that when she agreed to feature on the track, which is what Birdman's track, right? Because they both feature, she had no idea that Nicki would be on it, right? In spite of that, Kim said she was cool with it, later claiming it would be good for women. She did, however, take opportunity to spit the lyric, "Never be another me. What you out your mind" on the track, right? So that's what she mentioned. So that was basically taking shots at Nicki Minaj.
Nicki.
Yeah.
But Nick is famous for that over the years. Like, she'll say she's cool with people, she got no problem with them, she'll pick them up, she'll say positive things about him, and then she'll go take a shot.
Mhm.
And then lots of people, they said even behind the scenes, she decides to stop, like, them from doing things and opportunities they were going to get. She tries to basically block it, but in the forefront, she acts like she's cool with him. Like if you even look at her in the Remy situation, there's videos of her saying free Remy, free the queen, and then boom, Remy comes out, she takes a shot at Remy. She says she got no problem with Cardi, they're cool, she bigs her up, she takes a shot at Cardi. So she is famous for doing that. So you can believe Kim to an extent saying that she said we're okay, but then she turned around and take a shot.
Right. Then Ray J takes shots at Nicki Minaj, right, at Little Kim's concert, saying this, I'm seeing a lot of Lil Kim imposters. That was a direct shot at Nicki Minaj.
Who takes it?
Ray J.
Ray J the singer?
Hmm.
No one cares what he got to say. Like,
Right. Then Lil
we
Kim-
only care about the tape that he put out, and it was a very boring tape also.
Hmm. Then Lil
You know
Kim-
what I'm talking about, Ari?
Yeah, I know. I'm just blocking my ears because I'm very small in this thing.
Okay,
Please.
continue,
I'm PG era. Okay, so but then Lil Kim also says in a concert, we love her, we just want her to pay homage. If you don't pay homage, then F you.
Again, that picture could have clearly been taken as homage, not her stealing a style, because it's too similar. If for those of you out there, Google the pictures. It's too similar for her to have expected that she's copying it blatantly without expecting anyone to make that comparison, because it's too. Now, if she did it in a way that was kind of the same, but her stealing the style, she would have hid some of the elements of it. But she did it basically the same picture, just dressed differently. So that was clearly paid homage. Now everything else about her style, you can also link back to Kim. But that picture specifically, that I look at, it's paid homage.
So Nikki, I mean, Little Kim did have a problem with people in her style or copying.
Yeah,
it started
she
with Foxy
mentioned,
in a
yeah.
similar way.
Yeah.
But any hip hop artist from that time felt like that. It's not like now where everyone does the same thing, looks the same, makes the same song over and over.
Same music videos. Same.
Everything.
Right.
Executive producers all in the videos dancing.
Then 24 hours later, right, after Ray J and Lil Kim made the say this thing, right? So on stage again, we have Drake and Nicki Minaj on stage, right? So Drake says, I just want to let the crowd know I don't give a what Lil Kim or nobody else talking about. You the baddest to ever do. You the baddest chick to ever do this, right? And then basically, while Drake walks off, Nicki Minaj says, just laughs and says, "That's family." Right?
Again,
So
no
that's
one
it,
cared what
yeah.
Ray J had to say. No one cared what Drake had to say. This is a female MC battle.
Right?
And I think Little Kim and Foxy, their beef was even bigger than Drake's and Meek Mill's beef. There was actual shots fired.
Yes.
Not just
So,
Twitter
he
fingers.
shouldn't have chimed in this situation.
No, but yeah, he chimed in basically because Nicki Minaj was part of his camp, remember?
Plus, and he chimed in again. I go back to the Nicki and the Remy. When Nicki responded to Sheeta and that other song that she put out, the back to back, Wayne and Drake was on that song, that No Frauds. Fat Joe did not jump in there at all.
Yeah, but you see, listen to what I said earlier. Are you paying attention to what I'm saying?
Yes.
Ray J and Nochiko on a concert. So
But Ray J got nothing to do with the
Right,
situation.
well, yeah, but I'm just saying. So when the 24 hours later, when Drake and
I
Nochiko
understand
did the
they
same,
responded, but Kim
because,
should have.
yeah.
I mean, Nicki should have responded. Why do you have to hear from
Right.
Drake? And if you were a hip hop artist at this point in time, you shouldn't somewhat insult the legends. I understand why Kim and her are going
Yeah.
through the situation, but you should have stayed out of it.
Yeah.
Ray J been around since the 90s, so he can talk about it.
Yeah, right. Drake came around the same time as Nicki as well.
No, I'm talking
Yeah.
about Ray J being
Yeah.
he been around with Death Row
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
So he can talk about Kim because she might be a legend to him, but not as much as Drake coming from a rapper standpoint.
Speaking
and,
on behalf of Nicki.
exactly, he
Yeah,
should have
you
stayed out
understand.
of that one.
Right. So the next part of it, when you heard Diddy's "Hello Good Morning" featuring Nicki Minaj, right? Where she mentions "Did I kill a queen?" Right. I think it was a sublime shot at Lil Kim.
Clearly.
Yeah. And then Lil Kim spoke openly for the first time about her and Nicki Minaj's Cold War on Das Is 50. Right. We all know Das Is 50 Cent, right?
Yeah, it's his online, his radio
Yeah.
station, his online platform, all of that.
Yeah. Lil Kim said that Nicki had been taking subliminal shots at her and other female rappers, right? And then the beef continued when Kim rapped at the Queen's concert that same month. I'd kill that B with my old. That is come and go, right? And then basically later that same month on the Hot 96 on a during a Hot 96 interview, Nicki directly addresses Kim and says, "Put your music out, and when I see your name on billboards, that's when I'll respond to you." Right? That's what Nicki said.
See, that's
You're
what
going-
she jumps to all the time.
You're going to go down in history now as a sore loser, right? As opposed to going down in history as the queen. Don't play with me. That's what Nicki said.
She uses that as an excuse all the time. Drake used to do the same thing. All his artists with numbers used to do the same thing. When you battling someone, they say, okay, but I sold more than you at 50 started at. But basically putting it in that I'm bigger than you, I'm on Billboard, I'm this, I'm that. That got nothing to do with anything. Plus, you saying this to Little Kim in the 2010s while you in the middle of your run, while you the biggest thing in the world. Kim been out since what, 96?
Yeah.
So when she had, now compare yourself to her when she was in the middle of her run, when people had to physically go out there and buy copies of CDs, where hip hop wasn't as big as nearly as it is now, where she didn't make sing-songy songs. So you might have maybe sold a little bit more than her, but Kim was huge
At the time
back
in that
then.
area.
And she had about a 10-year run as well.
Uh-huh.
Up until like the mid 2000s when she did the 50 record and she did that Light Us Up song. It was a big record as well.
Yeah.
So you can't just be throwing that as an excuse. Plus, what, 20 years later,
Okay.
she's not in her prime no more.
Alright.
Obviously, she's not going to do the same numbers. Plus, she looked like Michael Jackson at the time.
Yeah.
So she can't
Like
even
50
take
Cent,
a
she was hot
attractive
until
picture
she
and put it
messed
on
her
the
nose.
cover. Nobody's buying it.
Okay. Then later on, Nicki Minaj was gearing up to release her debut album called Pink Friday, right? Then Lil Kim dropped a bomb known as Black Friday, right? And a rap which on the track she said, "This is wood-ish. You and Drake ain't built for it." And she also dubbed Nicki a Little Kim wannabe and a clone, right? Lil Kim tweeted. Then later on, Little Kim tweeted that she had sold 113,000 mixtapes on her PayPal on the first day of Black Friday's release, and this is what Nicki had to say about that, right? Where did it? Where is it? Yeah. So she basically says she basically says you can't compare PayPal. You say you're a legendary artist, right? Legendary artists don't sell their mixtapes on PayPal, whereas I'm selling on different on all the
Different
other
platforms,
platforms.
yeah.
Right. That was so then Nicki Minaj goes in on Lil Kim releasing a diss track called Tragedy. Right. So after Lil Kim releases her album through PayPal, Nicki drops a Tragedy diss record where she rapped. Well, what I was saying now, right? It must hurt to sell your album off PayPal, especially when you in the game 15 to 20. You as hot, where you was hot when Shaq teamed up with Penny. Man, you was magic. I mean, look at you now. You just tragic. You a tragedy. You a parody. Last name N, the first name Raggedy.
I see again that where you sell your album is irrelevant to a battle. You battling.
Mm.
Plus, Jay put out his album on Samsung's years ago.
Yeah.
Where you buy, if you got a Samsung phone, you automatically had his album. So, and there was some sort of app that was created. You go in there and the album is available. So he basically did over 1 million on his first day, which it wasn't actually the case. With the latest 444 album, he did the same thing, right? He put it out some way that whether you bought it or not, you got the album. So again, did like 1 million in a week when it wasn't really 1 million in a week. Kanye put out his most recent album on some place where you had to pay, or like his own thing.
His own, yeah.
They weren't putting out on other streaming platforms. 50 sold, I think, Animal Ambition or Street Kings Immortal for Bitcoin. Years ago, he said even forgot about it. He had so much Bitcoin there because the album sold on there. So, Evan used to make direct money versus putting it through a platform where there's a middleman where you getting paid far less is a better option. Firstly, because from that 100 and something thousand that she sold, she probably saw most of that money versus what Nicki sold at that point in time. Secondly, it's irrelevant to the battle.
Yeah, like if you're looking at the briefing over where you're selling your album and
Yeah, it's
how you're
like-
making sales.
And
'Cause I don't think Nicki had a leg to stand
Right.
on at that point, so
Right,
she had to
yeah.
shoot it whatever she could shoot it.
Yeah.
Because it was clear and obvious that she got her style from Kim.
yeah. So the thing is, here's the thing, right? So Lil Kim goes on Power 105, right? Lil Kim speaks about a history of a problems with Nicki Minaj. She actually mentions that Nicki shouldn't have subliminally dust on her records. When asked whether she thinks they will ever be able to make amends, Kim responded and said it will never happen, right? Then in 2013, the interview with Nicki Minaj on Hot 97, she unexpectedly named Lil Kim as one of her inspirations when she was growing up. In spite of everything that happened, Nicki pointed out, I don't have beef with anybody. Let me just say that life is too short. Nothing is ever that serious, right?
So she's kind of taking shots and
she's trying
holding
to,
back.
So both of them, like Lil Kim in the start, she said, no, I do admire and everything, but this is the thing. So,
I understand.
So both of them
If
doing the same thing.
If it's a legendary artist that
Yeah.
you did clearly take the style from, how can you say you're not inspired
Yeah.
by it? Because it's everybody can see you inspired by it. And you've said prior to you all have issues that you were inspired by. So I don't think that's a copying out or copying a plea and saying I don't want no issues no more. She's just stating, listen,
Yeah.
I was inspired by this.
Yeah. And then also with Lil Kim in the start saying don't know if she's paying homage or or what she's doing.
Mhm.
Yeah. So for me the picture was basically not I don't think it was a shot.
I think
I
he was looking for excuse to start something.
To start something, yeah, just to get for relevancy again. And
Or did
then
Nicki Minaj not have her lighters off?
No.
yeah. so then
It died down
there's a track
properly
of
after.
there's a track of Beyonce's called Flawless, right? Flawless remix, right? Where Nicki Minaj is on there, right? Where she didn't really take shots at Lil Kim, but she names herself as the rap queen, right? So it obviously now stronger.
On a song with Beyonce, who people call Queen Bee, which is not fair because the original Queen Bee was Little Kim.
Right?
That was her original nickname before
Beyonce's
Beyonce
Queen
even
Bee,
existed.
not Queen Bee.
No, they call her Queen Bee also.
Yeah, but it's Queen Bee actually.
Yeah, I'd taken it.
Yeah. So then, days after the track releases, if you look at the cover of the single, it has Beyonce and Nicki Minaj, right? So what Lil Kim done? She replaces Nicki Minaj's face with her own, and then she adds a verse on that track. That's what Nicki Minaj done, right? And she put there Lil Kim, right? She said, "Am I tripping? Did this? Just say my name, Queen of Rap, F out of here. Queen's back, F out of here. Time to get this rap out of the rap up out of here, right?" Which that's what Kim says, right? Which leaves King Dicky with a strong message. I gave you the rope. I want you to hang, right? That's what Lil Kim said. I'll give you the rope. So now we're going to wait for Nicki to respond.
Just how long ago?
I think it's recently, yeah. The Flawless didn't come out.
Okay, so what's your usual question? Who won the battle? Who won the
Okay,
war?
before we say who won the battle, who won the war, right? Right? When it comes to ghostwriters,
Mhm.
right?
Almost everyone in this conversation has supposedly used one. Now, the only one we know for a fact is Kim, because you heard reference tracks of Big
Yeah.
for her. Like, go back to the Drake
Foxy
episode,
also
we
has
spoke about reference tracks there. You can listen to it on there.
Yeah.
I give you a breakdown of what the reference track is on the Drake versus Meek episode. You've heard big reference tracks from her. Fox, I'm not sure if you've heard reference tracks, but there is
quite
lot
a
of stories floating around that Jay wrote for her and other people wrote for her.
Yeah.
And I think certain people have confirmed it, but other people... Nicki, the same thing with like Foxy. It's not 100% sure that anyone wrote for her, but there are stories that people wrote for her as
Nicki
well.
Minaj, I think with with the sing-songy,
Yeah.
that one definitely she has. I'm just making a statement.
It's the same excuse
could
as
be-
Drake. He says he
it
uses
could be
writers for the singing, but
for
yeah.
the singing, yeah. But when it comes to the verses, I think for me personally, Nicki Minaj lyrically
Is the best one from the three.
from the three.
But then if you're saying that, then you're saying she better than Big and she better than Jay. Because Jay wrote for Foxy, Big wrote for Kim.
Well, no, but I'm
And
saying-
then look
I'm
at
saying-
Nicki.
No, see now
A
you
lot of-
now
Just
you're being
say
biased.
it.
No, but now you're being biased because
No, Nicki can rap. I'm not denying
I'm
this,
going to
but
state
you
this.
just said she's
I'm
the
going to
best
state this.
lyricist from the
He
three.
doesn't like guys that what he always says. He doesn't appreciate guys that yes ghostwriters. and
I
write for
didn't
him.
say that. Go
No,
back to
no,
my
he
episode
said
and
that,
listen
no.
to
He
it. I
mentioned-
didn't
he
say that. I
mentioned
said there's a place
he
for all of
doesn't-
them.
yeah,
Yes
he
or
doesn't-
no?
yeah, he said there's a place, but you don't like.
But in
ghostwriters.
this
But we're
beef-
saying in this
No, I'm
situation,
talking in this-
all three of them have stories of using writers. The only one that's not truly confirmed is the Nick, right? The Nicki Minaj one. The other two, it's somewhat known that they've used writers. you saying lyrically you think she's better than the three. If your reasoning behind it is that it's no proof that she's ever used writers.
not only
So
that.
if that's your
No,
reasoning
not only
behind
that.
it,
Not only
then
that.
I can
Did you hear
agree
the
with
track
you.
Monster?
No, I'm not saying
Yeah.
she can't rap,
No,
but you
no,
said...
No, I'm saying...
you-
what I'm saying is, right? Listen to what I'm saying.
yeah.
Yeah, right? Lil Kim and Foxy Brown, right? Legendary, right?
Yep.
Right? Without them, there wouldn't be a Nicki Minaj or
Correct.
Megan Thee Stallion or anything, right?
Uh-huh.
But when I'm talking about
You
now...
can do
right,
without some of
yeah,
the people
Yeah,
also.
but when I'm talking about now the rapping, what's it called? Rapping wise.
No,
right?
I'm not disagreeing
Right.
with you. Nikki can rap,
Nah.
rap.
She
It's not only Monster, you can go to
Yeah,
other tracks
other
with her.
tracks
She
where she
held her
need-
own with Eminem, even she can
held her
rap.
own, yes. You're right.
But your statement
Right.
was,
My statement is that...
Nikki is better than the other two.
Yes.
We just said earlier, the other
I'm
two
saying-
we know for a fact. Jay wrote for the one, Big wrote for the other
no.
one.
Yeah,
we
I
know
don't-
this for
yeah.
fact. So by you saying that, you saying they better than Jay, she better than Jay and Big.
because lyrically she writes her own thing.
Okay, if
But-
that's your reasoning, then I agree with you.
But a
Right,
lot of
because she
Nicki
writes her own
Minaj's
thing.
stuff is like...
No, then I
No.
then
She's
I agree with you. If
referencing
that's your
Big.
reasoning. If you saying
No.
because she writes her own stuff
That's-
and they
that's what I'm
don't,
saying.
then
That's what I'm
obviously
saying.
then it's no question about it.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right. Think about it and think about logically.
No. I agree with you. That's
Right.
there's
Thank
no
you.
way to disagree with
As long
that.
as I know.
But it doesn't answer the question who won the beef.
Okay, so the battle is the with Nicki Minaj and the Lil Kim, right? As I mentioned now earlier, there was a recent track. There was a recent. So the battle's still going on.
Yeah, but it's dead
It's
somewhat.
not. Yeah, it's not.
It's just
really-
a short here and there,
Yeah,
but
just
it's
a short
over.
end. Yeah.
It
Basically.
wasn't even
But that I think,
that
right?
big.
Again, I allude back to the Drake episode. We live in a time where people don't care the fact that he uses ghostwriters,
Mhm.
right? So in my eyes, he would have lost it as soon as we heard that he had ghostwriters, right? This one is a little bit different because it's Kim. We know she uses writers, right? But her beef comes long after and it's not exposed in this beef.
And
And then the same knock that you can say, okay, but you used writers, you can tell us, but Nicki stole your entire style, which is also as frowned upon in hip hop as using writers is if you steal someone's style. But the same thing I said earlier, we live in a time where people don't care. So Nicki Minaj's fans do not care that she took Lil Kim style. Some of them probably don't even know who Lil Kim is or anything where she came
now
from.
they know.
So in my eyes, I can say, you know what, it was somewhat a draw. Maybe Kim wins because you can say she stole your style, but her fans and the people out today don't care.
Yeah, and basically that's beef shouldn't have happened if you know, and I understand. Nicki just possibly took that picture as
It's like I look at it like this here. You never heard Biggie this Big Daddy Kane. You never heard Nas this Rakim.
yeah. But
You
Kim,
never heard- well, you heard Jay this Jay, so that was different.
but what I'm saying, Kim came in and
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, if Rakim said something about Nas, you think Nas would have responded. If Big Daddy Kane said something about Biggie, you think Biggie would have responded. I don't think so, because these were the people they came from. This was their legend. Even though you must know that time hip hop was much younger, right?
yeah.
So the people, their careers might have been from like 88 to 91, 92. Big and them is coming out 94, 95. They basically their peers. They're like
Yeah.
2-3 years apart.
Okay.
But they looked at them as legends
Right.
and their forefathers and the people that they
Okay.
came from. So, but they would have never done them.
Okay.
This is someone that came 20 years before you and you still take a shot at him.
Okay. Now that you say that, right? What's happening now recently with the Game and Eminem? You don't. They're not the Eminem Game. You understand?
I agree
And
with you, but
you see.
you found a way
Same
to bring
thing.
it in this
Yeah.
week. I didn't do it for you.
Yeah, that's I
But they both at this point been around for a long time. Game what would have been 17 years now. At this
Yeah,
point.
but-
M would be 20
yeah.
something years. So it's not
But-
like he taking a shot back at someone that come from there. And
No, but
this
it-
is
it
Nicki at the
is.
point is relevant. Kim came out in 95, 96. You came out in like 2010. You shoot in that way. I'm just
No,
saying.
but it like I said, if you heard Lil Kim took
This first
offense,
step,
yeah,
but
took first
sometimes
step,
you
yeah.
got to leave it alone.
Yeah, she
Sometimes when it's a person that's an elder statesman, legend,
Yeah,
someone
but
that you look up to, you got
but
to
I think
maybe
she
leave
left-
it
yeah,
alone.
but I think
Shiki
she-
should
she-
know you
no,
can't take shots
no,
at old people.
No, but
Yeah, I
I
punched the old man
But I
once.
think she
By mistake.
I think for a while I think she did leave it alone up until a certain point. You see, that's when the Ray J and the concert came. You see, and then when that's why you said Drake shouldn't have
Chimed in.
should have chimed in because Nicki Minaj didn't say anything.
No, but she
She
was
d-
taking
no,
subs.
No, but she did. I'm talking about now the Ray J and Kim incident
Mhm.
and the Drake and Nicki
Nicki
Minaj.
incident, yeah.
Right. So the Ray J takes takes a shot and Lil Kim takes a shot, right? Drake mentions it. Lil Kim didn't do anything. All she does is laugh it off and said, "No, that's," pointing to him and say, "That's family. That's it." So
Still, I just look at a lot of his younger artists from recent times don't really respect the legends. Like Drake again was beefing with Common. Should have never done that. Ludacris should have never done that.
yeah, no, the young ones, they don't have respect these days, huh? T.
And then with the Fox Kim, I don't know.
Yeah.
That seems somewhat even to me. Although Kim's career lasted a bit longer,
Little bit longer,
and
yeah.
spanned a bit more, and I think she reached more people.
Yeah.
So maybe Fox outsold her during that week and
During that
whatever.
week,
but,
but in long
but overall, I think
overall.
Kim did better.
Yeah.
I think she was the bigger
She was the bigger.
artist.
Or both albums, right? Or like you said, the hardcore. I'm talking about the hardcore and Il Nana, right?
Yeah.
The hardcore, although Il Nana overtook it then, right? But if you're looking at longevity, the hardcore sold actually more. It did more.
And
Yeah.
Kim's career as a whole is probably
Yeah.
one of the biggest female MCs out.
Yeah, and then
So-
then a second album, Notorious K.I.M. also
Did well.
did well,
yes,
and then Foxy Brown's Il Nana too didn't really do that.
So I don't really have a decisive answer on both, but I would say Kim on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so good, Kim. Kim for the win. So she's the real queen bee. She is the battle of the babe winner.
Babes.
Yeah, we'll just wait and see Nicki Minaj, right?
Nah,
Waiting for us to drop a
Yeah.
track.
not waiting for her to
No,
talk about
please
it, just let me state this.
Yeah. Nicki, we're waiting for you to do a one day for us.
Okay, so that was our focus artist of the week, Miami. So a little bit of Miami. She comes from Miami,
Yeah.
Florida. She's a Christian hip hop artist. You said her real name is Angela.
Angela, but
Angela.
right. So I just want to correct myself, right? I don't know. Last time I said it's Miami, right? When after listening to her quite a while, she says Miami,
Yeah.
but it just spelled is Miami, which is MYAMMEE, right?
Well, she couldn't spell her name after a city. That wouldn't make sense. You named yourself Johannesburg. Now every time someone search you, the city come up. It's,
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna find you. But if
Yeah,
you
and you
spell it
say,
different.
no, and when you saying it on a track, you're saying Miami.
Yeah.
So now you're obviously going to search MIAM. Yeah. Okay, but she actually rose to fame from a reality TV show called Flavor of Love.
Oh my God.
What
She come
flavor?
from Flavor of
Flav.
Love.
Yeah, it's that's where she what's it called, but then she
For anyone who doesn't know that show, it was a reality show of women competing for Flavor Flav's love.
right. So
And if you don't know who Flavor Flav is,
Google Flavor Flav.
boy.
right,
That is
that's where,
ridiculous.
yeah, it's she on reality TV. That's where she rose to fame from the show Flavor of Love and I Love Money, right? But in 2001, she embarked on a journey of faith, rebranding herself as a hip hop artist and being born again. Basically born again. Gave her life to Christ, and she started now basically doing
That's when she released the track Pray and
pray and
Slay.
slay. Yeah,
Whoever did Flavor of Love should go with Been Born Again.
right.
Because
So-
that was horrible.
So she gave her life to Christ. Ever since then, she started. So top tracks currently, she doesn't have a big discography like the other weeks what we spoke about. But what's significant about her is coming from where she came from, and basically now changing her life, giving her life to Christ. So it's anybody can change. It's not what's it called. Anybody is welcome in
We
Christ.
get you. I'm just saying Flavor of Love is disgusting.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so
Yeah.
check out albums, songs.
Check out Flavor of Love also if you
No,
can find
yeah.
it somewhere on YouTube or something. Flavor Flav
So,
is
yeah.
a legendary person, right? He's one half of Public Enemy. But I'm just talking about that reality show specifically, Flavor of Love.
yeah.
That's it.
She found love,
Yeah,
the love
yeah.
of Christ.
Yeah,
in her
she
life.
found the love
Thank
of
God she
Christ.
never find the
There's
love of Flavor
she,
Flav.
no, she went there. That's ironic. That's very well said. D. Yeah, she went on Flavor Love to find love, but she actually ended up finding a love in Christ. Yeah. So her top tracks is Risen, right? All that, God Don't Play About Me, Pray and Slay. That, I think we played it last week.
Yeah.
This is what it looked like. Birthday Suit, God Did It, and I'm Getting Ready. Like that's the top 8. Yeah, and that's Miami for you.
Flavor Flav, boy.
You had to throw that in. Alright, so dun-dun-dun-dun, trying to make a small drum roll, yo,
Okay, just wait a minute.
for this guy who's just stalling while he gets T
W
H
I.
Yeah,
you-
those
he
TW
must the I.
Yeah, but yeah, you said
I always dot my
TWHI.
eyes.
You said TWHI.
Yeah, the I said was to
it's
correct you.
TWIHH. Just say it
H.
properly.
H H H.
Pronounce it. Say it properly on it.
TWIHHH.
It's this past week in hip hop history. That's how you say it. Without
I don't have that
etc.
level of enthusiasm. And my normal voice and my radio voice is the same. I can't change it like you can.
Okay. Yo MTV Raps debuts on MTV August 1988. Alright? Legendary show.
Those of you old enough to remember it got rebooted a few times and
Mm.
came back, but that's the original one.
Yeah. Then August 2001, Jada Kiss released his debut album, Kiss the Game Goodbye.
Oh, okay.
Kiss
His
the Game
debut
Goodbye.
was Kiss the Game Goodbye.
Kiss the Game Goodbye. Yeah.
Just recently, I seen an entire conversation on one of these social media platforms. It was basically a conversation that was lasting for days,
Yeah.
stating that Jadakiss can't be a top tier rapper because he doesn't have a classic album. I was just seeing that online for
I think
a couple of days.
the locks on their own, they highly I won't say they're underrated when talking about legendary.
Okay.
Many people look past them up until recently when when they did the verses. Then only people said, "Yo,
Okay, but my point to that, right? You can say, okay, maybe
No,
he
I'm
doesn't
saying-
have a classic album,
Yeah.
but the Locks has a classic album, and he is a super MC.
Yeah.
So he should be put in that realm because Andre don't have a solo album, and he's put in that conversation.
yeah." And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I saw the conversation. I don't
No,
agree
it doesn't.
with it.
For me also, it doesn't make sense. Jada is one of the greatest.
Mm.
Yeah.
They were just saying he doesn't have a solo classic album, right? But he has group classic albums, and you can't say, okay, but Andre can be in that conversation, but he don't have a solo project at all, let alone a classic.
Yeah, and if you hear the locks, people, the image boy is Jada. But style speed is big.
Yeah, he
But
somewhat looked at the frontman, especially
looked at the
after,
frontman.
because they don't really have a frontman if you look at the
Yeah,
Locks properly.
they don't have.
It's just that him and Styles has done more than Sheik in terms of back and forth and things like that, you know, on other people's features
Yeah.
and things. And then Kiss did a lot of solo stuff. But I think especially after the verses, because they used a lot of his solo freestyles and things like that, people look at him like he's the frontman, even though the Locks is not like that.
Yeah. August 2011, Jay-Z, Kanye West released the album Watch the Throne. Earlier we were speaking about Lil Kim, Thelma and Louise,
Yeah.
right? It was mentioned also that if the Thelma and Louise album had to come out, right? It would be quite the same as Watch the Throne.
Yeah, because you have the two biggest females in the game.
And to do
Doing
like
that conjoined
it would
album.
be the same, yeah. Then August 1988, Straight Outta Compton was released. It's the NWA's debut album.
It's not a movie, people. It's
Not a movie, it's an
life
album.
thing.
It's an
It
album.
happened. It happened
Straight
in real
Outta
life.
Compton. Yeah, it's called Straight Outta Compton. It's an album, debut album, right? Not the movie, but yeah,
Some crazy.
that's where the first part of the G-Funk, you know that Dr. Dre said-
G-Funk era.
yeah, where that synthesizer that they
Well,
used.
not so much.
It
Dr.
wa- it
Dre
came
actually
from there.
didn't. Dr. Dre didn't create that sound. It was a group called Above the Law,
Yeah, but I
and
mean,
then in conjunction with Warren G, created
no,
the
G-
G-Funk
yeah,
era sound.
But I'm talking about that synthesizer, right? It's one of the songs on that album. You hear the synthesizer there.
Well,
when
that's
it started.
probably because Above the Law was signed to Ruthless,
Okay.
people that started
Yeah.
the G-Funk era sound. There's a documentary out there somewhere about them. You can find it about the G-Funk era.
Yeah. August 8, 1962, Kool Moe Dee was born.
We spoke about him before.
Yeah. August 8, 2015, Sean Price passed away.
Oh, that was so recently. I thought he died a long time ago.
2015.
Sean Price was part of a
Helter
label
Skelter.
called Duck Down.
Yeah,
Very
Duck Down,
legendary
yeah.
label.
With
The
Buckshot,
Slash
no?
crew.
Yeah, with Buckshot, is it?
The crew
The
was
Buckshot
Helter
Shorty, yeah.
Skelter, isn't it?
Yeah, Helter
Sean
Skelter,
Price
yeah.
and-
Helter Skelter was, like, I think he's
Sean Price,
individual
yeah.
group, but
Yeah.
Duck Down was the label they were all
Yeah.
part of, and like
Yeah,
the crew, yeah.
Mm.
There was messing with Tupac during that, the East Coast, West Coast beef. He had New York people that he was working with, was them, was Duck Down.
Yeah,
Buckshot Shorty and
Buckshot,
Smith
yeah.
and Wesson. and-
yeah. Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock released their debut album in August 1988. Right? Grave Diggers released their debut album 6 Feet Deep in August 94.
I love that album.
Grave Diggers releasing album 6 Feet Deep.
Mm.
6
Yeah.
Feet Deep.
Yeah. August 9, 1971, Mac 10 was born. Part of the West Side Connection with Ice Cube.
And Dubsy.
August 9, 1959, Curtis Blow was born.
Not Curtis Jackson.
Curtis Blow. The guy that says, these are the
the brakes."
brakes. Run DMC released their single It's Like That, Osaka MCs, at August 1983. August 1999, Def Jam released their compilation Violator, the album, right? So they had Busta Rhymes, all the
All the Violator artists.
Violator artists, right? Violator was what you call a management by the
He had
management
Norris
company. Yeah.
song that he redid of Onyx on there. I can't remember what was it. Back the F Up or one of those ones there that he redid Onyx album.
Right. Ali Shaheed Muhammad of Tribe Called Quest was born in August 11, 1970. Tribe, yes, part of Tribe Called Quest. I
Tribe.
think we only I only get to remember Q-Tip.
No, it's Q-Top 5 Dog as well.
Yeah.
Who passed away.
And then if you went through to our regions, right? Nah,
Mhm.
you would have known hip hop started from a certain party from DJ Kulak, right?
Mhm.
So it was August 11, 1973. DJ Kulak threw his first back to school jam. That's where
Yes. That's why if you've
It
seen
started.
recently, people have been celebrating hip hop 49 years old because of that on August 11th.
August
And then,
11, 1973.
from now up until next year, August 11th, it's going into its 50th year. So you've seen that Rock the Bell that LA's been
Yeah.
doing, and the stuff that DJ
Yeah.
Premier's putting albums out
Putting
in
albums, yeah.
50th, because this is the 50th year.
it's gonna be the 50th
This
year.
was no,
No, next year,
49th
next year.
birthday. This was
This
this
49th,
was the
yeah,
49th
49th,
birthday.
yeah.
Means it's in the 50th
In the
year.
50th year, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Next year.
You know how numbers work.
I know. I'm saying
Yeah.
now. I'm saying next year. I'm saying next year is going to be the 50th.
Yeah.
Right.
But
so,
currently it's in
yeah.
the 50th.
So next year.
And
Next
then
year.
after it will be the 51st,
Yeah.
going
So-
into the
yeah.
51st.
So, Ari, what are you in your 49th year or your 50th year?
No. I'm in my 49th year. I'm going to be 50 next year, August.
So you've been around since
1973. I am hip-hop.
1973.
Yeah.
We finally got his age and his date of birth.
I am hip hop. Okay, anyway. Sir Mix-a-Lot was born August 12th, 1963.
Give us a famous Mix-a-Lot song.
Baby Got Back.
Oh,
That's the only one I
I
can
think
remember.
that's only one anyone will
I can remember. Right?
One
August,
It Wonder.
August 12th, Del the Funky Homo Sapien was born. And that was it.
Del the Funky homosexual.
Homo Sapien.
Oh, okay, I was just correcting you there.
Homo Sapien, yeah. But anyway, that was this past week in hip hop history.
Anywho, that was a good show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. On what Shiki Ari Styles and D-Money presenting the turntable on Active FM.
Remember, this is the turntable where we keep you learned and get you turned, or get you turned and keep you learned. However you want to look at it. Bye bye then.
And we've brought you the facts, played you some tracks. Just gonna leave you with the verse of the week, which comes from Colossians 3 verse 13. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you have a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you.